There are so many pieces to Urdhva Dhanurasana or full wheel pose. We have to work to lengthen the quadriceps to get more length on the fronts of the thighs, to have a nice open upper chest, to have a nice flexibility in the shoulders, strength in the arms, and of course, openness in the hips. In this video, we'll be working mostly on opening the shoulders for Urdhva Dhanurasana. So let's begin. As we start, you may wish to have some blocks. If you don't have blocks, no worries. You can improvise or just have your elbows now on the floor. So set yourself up in such a way that in hands and knees positions, you can place your elbows right on the blocks and your hands in prayer position. As you press into the blocks, with your palms together, draw your palms back toward your pelvis. Let your heart just soften toward the earth, but not your belly. Your belly kind of wants to sag. Your action is to draw from the pubic bone to the navel back to the spine as you press very firmly down, just to get this awareness to the shoulder area. Breathe in deep. Keep on reaching your hands back toward your pelvis. Breathe out long. Have the action be very strong. You're pressing down and you're pulling from the elbows to the shoulders. Slowly make your way out of the pose. The next pose we'll be doing is just a way to kind of open the shoulders and to give a thigh stretch. As I said, we'll be working mostly on shoulders today, but as you set up, come to all fours position and step your right foot right between your hands. I like using the blocks just because it gives you a lot more elevation. You can just settle yourself down, just soften down to give yourself a thigh stretch. This may be plenty of thigh stretch for you on the back leg. But if you'd like to lift up your back foot and maybe find your back foot with your hand, just to help you open up the shoulder just with the power of the foot drawing away from the pelvis. You're coming to just do a modified twist to open the upper back, and you can release. And let's do the opposite side. So step your left foot forward. Same thing, come to a deeper lunge. And again, if you want to get extra stretch there, you can lift your back foot up. And as you do, you may want a little padding for your knee there. As you open your chest, you take the head of the left arm back. You keep the front knee hugging in toward the midline. And release your foot down. Come to a standing position now. And as you come to a standing position, take your arms up, spread your fingers, bend your elbows with your hands behind you as if you're pressing the wall behind you. Draw your elbows in slightly. Try to take your hands wider apart. It's a very complicated move. And release your hands down. We'll do that 2 more times. Reach your arms up, bend your elbows, spread your fingers, draw your elbows in slightly. See if you can draw your hands out slightly. And release your hands down. 1 more time. Take your arms up, bend your elbows, spread your fingers, hands out, elbows in, and release. Now let's take that to the wall. So find a wall space for yourself. Now that you're at the wall, take your hands back just like we were doing. Draw your elbows in, take your hands wide apart. Your fingers are now pointing down toward the floor. Draw the heads of the arm bones back. Draw your armpits back nicely. Press your head back. Just feel this engagement now. Keep your head where it is. See if you can walk your pelvis away from the mat. Keep that, the engagement of the hands. And release, walk your feet back and release your hands down. Let's do that again. Lift your arms up, take your hands back, press the wall, draw your elbows in, press your head back. Now slowly move your pelvis away from the wall. Keep drawing the heads of the arm bones back, your armpits back, and step yourself back to the wall. So you're starting to get this muscle memory of like what the arms need to do. We'll do that one more time and we just hold it. Take your arms up, bend your elbows, place your hands by the wall, spread your fingers, press especially to the base of the index finger as you come to the wall. As you press into the wall with the elbows hugging in, take your hands nice and wide apart, press your head back. Now step away from the wall. Draw your breath in and out, really open your chest. And step yourself back. So there you have it. Just a few basic things so that you have this muscle memory, you have the alignment cues, so that as we come toward a straight arm version of this, it's so much more accessible. So take your arms up, press the wall, elbows in, spread your fingers, keep your head pressing, and walk your feet away from the wall. Keep on walking away from the wall. Maybe you can come to straighter arms and take your head back and walk your feet back and release your hands. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift your arms up, place your hands at the wall, elbows in, spread fingers, nice engagement. Start walking away from the wall. Look up toward the sky. Maybe you can come to straighter arms and slowly come on back and release. We'll do that one more time. 3 times, it's a charm. Take your arms up, bend your elbows, place your hands. This open chest before coming toward a version of the pose that allows you to straighten your arms and come on back to the wall and release your hands. Come to lie down now. And as you lie down with your knees bent, take your arms up and over your head, plant your hands, and draw your elbows in. Spread your fingers so much. Press down through the base of the index finger and lift your pelvis up. And draw your pelvis down. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift your pelvis up to come toward a bridge pose with your arms up over your head and down. One more time. Lift your pelvis up And come on down. So now you know the hand position. You've trained your shoulders how to align themselves nicely. I like to go through 3 steps in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Step 1 is the step we just did. With your arms up over your head and placed correctly, you lift your pelvis up. The second and the third stages we'll go through now. But if those don't work for you, please stay right at the stage that's best for you. As you lie down with your knees bent, place your hands over your head, hug your elbows in, your fingers pointing toward your toes. You lift your pelvis up. Now you come to your head, but the head's not bearing that much weight. The arms are working nicely before you straighten your arms to come to the full pose. And slowly come on down and release. And just pause here. These are some nice tips to align your shoulders nicely for the practice. There are other ways that we can use a blanket and blocks and other things, and we'll do that in future videos. Thanks so much for the practice. Namaste.